INEC declared Tinubu president. Nobody protested again. So you want United States of America to come to Nigeria, to invade Nigeria, and put Obi and say, no, we don't want Tinubu. We should put Obi or we should put Atiku. It doesn't work like that. By virtue of United Nations Charter, a country, another country does not interfere in another country's domestic affairs. So Nigerian masses are so gullible. They follow their leaders sheepishly. They don't even ask questions. Let's take Pentecostal churches, for example. Members, the congregants in Pentecostal churches, they don't ask their pastors questions. They just, whatever the pastor says, they follow him. The same thing with politicians. Whatever the political leaders say, they follow him. Nobody can question them. Nobody can query them. And Nigerian masses not gullible. And they're not even making the matter worse. They are making the matter worse. Nigerian masses will see red, and they will tell you red is blue, just because of tribal sentiment. Nigerian masses will see red now, but because of tribal sentiment, they will tell you red is blue. Nigerian masses will see red because of religious sentiment. They will tell you red is blue. Are we not stupid? The masses are the masses helping matters. I will put up my number, and then are so gullible. Are we not so gullible? We are. So let me put up my number on the screen because I have only 15 more minutes to say. I have only 15 minutes to spend. I have only 15 more minutes to spend. Just give me a minute and I'll put up my number on the screen. Let me put up my number on the screen so that you can call me. So my number is on the screen. If you want to call in, you are free to call in. My number is on the screen if you want to make any contribution. So my number is on the screen. If you want to, it's not what it's so. If you want to call in and let us discuss, especially if you are obedient. If you're obedient and you think whatever I said about Peter Obi is not right, call in, let us debate it. Whether Peter Obi does not have money in Panama, let us debate it. That's why Peter Obi supporters who call themselves obedient. Let us debate it now, whether Obi does not have $7 million in a fixed deposit account in Panama. Let us debate. Call in. Or if you are Igbo and you think I'm attacking Peter Obi because I'm a Yoruba man, call in, let us debate it. And then let us debate it whether Peter Obi does not have $7 million in a fixed deposit in Panama in the name of his 2 children. Call in. Call. So I'm waiting for callers to call in. I'm waiting for callers to call in. Call in, oh. So if you are an Igbo person, or an Igbo guy or an Igbo lady watching me, and you think whatever I said about Peter Obi is not correct, call in and let us debate it now, once and forever. So your Peter Obi is a liar. I said so. Your Peter Obi is a liar. Is a pathological liar. How can you have $7 million in Panama, in a tax haven country. Then you set up an offshore company called PMGG Investment Limited, and then you turn around and said, you don't know that it is an offense. You don't know that it is against the law to have an account in Panama. You don't, and then the same Peter Obi now turned around and said, no, I don't know that it is an offense. And I don't know that it is a crime. And I don't know that it is against the law to have an account in Panama. The same Peter Obi went to South Africa to employ a lawyer to set up an offshore company in Panama using a shell company. So Peter Obi can play on your intelligence. He can't play on my own intelligence. So I'm too matured. I'm a lawyer. I'm not trying to brag. So I know how this thing works. If you don't know how this thing works, Peter Obi cannot play on my intelligence. He can play on you gullible, his gullible supporters who call yourself obedient. He can play on your intelligence. He can play on my intelligence. Peter Obi is a liar. So Colin, after all, whatever I said now cannot put Peter Obi in a disadvantaged position. Election is gone. So you can't say that what I'm saying now will not make people to vote for Peter Obi again. So Colin, I'm waiting for your calls. Peter Obi supporters, I'm waiting for your calls. Tinubu supporters, I'm waiting for your calls. Atiku supporters, I'm waiting for your call. Let us debate it now. Excuse me. So I step out to make a call. So I will be here for the next 5 minutes. I'll be here for the next 5 because I have to do other things. So I'll be here for the next 5 minutes waiting for calls from either Peter Obi supporter, Tinubu supporter, Atiku supporter. These are the 3 leading candidates in the last election. So if you are for Peter Obi, call in. You can even call Peter Obi himself to call you, or you can call one of the officers of Labour Party to call in. If you know Dele Alaki, tell him to call in, or Festus Keyamo. Enough of all this stupidity. Enough of you people deceiving people. Tinubu supporters keep on deceiving people, the masses. Can you imagine a PhD friend of mine, a PhD holder, a friend of mine who has PhD in economics called me and said, Tinubu did not commit any crime in America. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. So Tinubu did not commit any crime in America. Then why did he forfeit $460,000? I'm live. I'm live now. I'm live. Ezinwenta Uduku, I'm live. You can call in. My number is on the screen. Call me on WhatsApp. If you are calling from Nigeria, call me on WhatsApp. Can you imagine a PhD holder friend of mine who has PhD in economics from University of Cambridge call me and said, Tinubu, he has never committed any crime in his life. PhD holder. PhD holder. If he's not my personal friend, I will say he's not a PhD holder. On a serious note, if he's not my personal friend, and I knew with the time he was in Cambridge as a PhD student, I would have said, no, this guy cannot have PhD in economics. Because he's a Yoruba man, he wants to defend Tinubu. And later, you know that Tinubu is a very nice man. He's a very generous man. Really? And that Tinubu did not commit any crime in America. I say, because I wait patiently, I allow him to say the rubbish he wanted to say. And that Tinubu is never a criminal. I say, So Tinubu is never a criminal. He was not convicted in America. Yet he forfeited $460,000. Why will you forfeit money? You only forfeit money in criminal cases. You only forfeit money in criminal cases. So why will Tinubu enter into a plea bargaining to forfeit $460,000 US dollars, 460,000. If he doesn't have, if he has never committed any crime, and then the trial was even in absentia, he has drawn back to Nigeria. The trial was in absentia. Tinubu was no longer living inside America, and then he now entered into what we call plea bargaining. I said, okay, I will forfeit $460,000. If truly Tinubu was innocent of the charges against him, why can't he come back to America at that time to come and defend himself instead of forfeiting $460,000? If you don't know, that the same Tinubu has 2 social security numbers in America. When he was living in America, Tinubu has 2 social security numbers. If you don't know, the same Tinubu has was running over 10 different bank accounts in United States of America. Today now, Tinubu is a saint. Today now, in Nigeria, in fact, according to Yoruba people, Tinubu is the saint that is coming to reform Nigeria. Tinubu is not a saint that has come with a Midas touch to reform Nigeria. The same thing with the Igbos. Peter Obi, who has $7 million in Panama. Suddenly, Peter Obi now become a messiah. Are the masses not gullible? Why can't they ask Peter Obi questions? Igbo supporters or people who call themselves obedient. Why can't you ask Peter Obi questions? How did his children came about $7 million in Panama? Why was it that when he was governor of Anambra State was the time his children were able to save $7 million in Panama? But our masses will never ask any question. Are the masses not gullible in Nigeria? They will never ask any question. Whatever the leaders say, they follow him sheepishly. Atiku was only a custom officer, just ordinary custom officer. And Atiku became a billionaire in dollars. People cannot ask questions. How did you come about your money, Atiku? Before they will be telling you that Atiku is a businessman, a very successful businessman. Really? Just ordinary custom officer. He did not even become the Controller General of Custom Officer. He was Assistant Controller General of Custom Officer. And Atiku, after he retired from Custom Officer, became a billionaire. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes? I can hear you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I'm just watching your program.
Okay.
I never seen you that you are live.
Okay. I'm listening. Talk on.
Hello?
Hello. I'm listening. Say whatever you want to say.
Okay. Well, you can hear me, sir.
Yes, everybody's hearing you. Even not only me. The whole world is hearing you. Say whatever you want to say.
Okay. It's related to what you are saying about Mr. Tito.
Okay.
But you know that Mr. Tito was a butcher before he became governor in 2006.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. No? So just to hold on like that.
I can't hear you.
I say hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
In law, there's something we call circumstantial evidence. In law, there's something we call something. Why? And I want you to answer this one genuinely. No sentiments attached to it. Why is it that it was when Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State
Okay.
that suddenly his children were able to save $7 million in Panama? Answer me that question. Why did they not save? Listen, I agree that Peter Obi is the most richest man. Listen, I agree that Peter Obi is the most richest man in Igbo land. But why is it that it was when Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State that his children were able to save $7 million in Panama? And then what was his children's job? They were at the age of 19 and 21. They were still in school. So what were they doing that they have $7 million in Panama? Please answer me.
No, before, because I followed Tito, that was
Listen.
2006.
Hello. Listen. Hello, listen. I don't want to hear story. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear story. Why did Peter Obi's children did not save $7 million before he became governor in Panama? That's my question. Is it any other, whether you know, listen, whether you know Peter Obi since 1960 is none of my business. My question, listen. My question to you, listen. I want a sentiment here. My question to you is this: Peter Obi agreed is the most richest man in Igbo land, but why was it that it was when he became governor that his children now become so suddenly rich, and they were able to save $7 million in Panama? So what was Peter Obi? What was Peter Obi's children's source of income? Answer me.
That family have money, and they have been in money before
No.
they became the governor.
Listen. Hello. Let's get this clear. There's a difference between Peter Obi and his children. Peter Obi claimed that his children are the one that has the money. So how does Peter Obi's children have 7 million? And then why was it that it was when he was governor of Anambra State? That's the question I want you to ask. Forget about whether Peter Obi has money or not. I'm not bothered about that one. I know that you can say that. I know that a lot of people believe that Peter Obi is the richest man in Ebola, but that's none of my business. My answer to you, my question to you is: why is it that when Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State, and he was still governor, that his children, who has never worked in their life, suddenly have $7 million?
Okay, look at what happened there. Let me just, from what I understand, actually, maybe, sometimes you are, because I know that you are well educated, you can decide, okay, since I have children that are coming, and I know that they are still in the university, or they might get other in future, okay, now let me save some money.
No. Listen, you are missing the no, you are missing the point. Listen, you are missing the point. You are missing the point. Yes, and then what? Listen, there are two questions, two issues.
Okay.
When they interview Peter Obi, he claimed that the money belongs to his children, two children. He has only two children. One is Gabriela, one is Godfrey. Now, and I want to ask you, yes, I know their names, so I'm not saying whatever I don't know. Okay? Yes, one is Gabriela, one is Godfrey. Okay, the two children. He has only two children. And then they were 19 and 21. And at that time, they were students in abroad. Yes, they were students. So, that means they are not working. Okay? No, listen now, they are students. That means they are not working. So, my question to you is this. Why is it that it was when Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State that suddenly his two children, who are jobless, decided to save $7 million in Panama? And then the second question to you is this:
Okay.
why can't they save the money in Nigeria?
So why can't they save the money?
Yes, in Nigeria. And then the third question to you is that, do they know that Peter Obi himself was the one that incorporated that company called PMGG in Panama? Do you know that Peter Obi, by doing so, had violated Section 6 of Code of Conduct Bureau? So, those are three questions I want you to answer. And I don't want sentiment, please. I'm not trying to insult you. I don't want all those stories that you know Peter Obi since 1942 doesn't concern me. Why is it that his children suddenly became millionaires in dollars, so not in naira, when he was governor of Anambra State? Why did he decide to save the money outside Nigeria? If it's a patriotic Nigeria, why can't he save it in Fidelity Bank? He was a director of Fidelity Bank. Why in Panama? And then what has his children's source of income that suddenly, when he became governor of Anambra State, they now have $7 million to put away in Panama? The floor is yours.
one after the other. Let me get the first question. The first one. Let us start from the first one.
The first question is this.
Okay.
Why was it that Peter Obi's children, who are jobless,
Okay.
suddenly have $7 million while their father was still the governor of Anambra State?
Okay.
That's the first question. Listen, though, question, you can write it down. Question number 2. Why don't they save the money in Anambra State? Why did they have decided to go and save the money in Panama, which is a tax haven country? Okay. The third question to me is this. Let me tell you something that you people don't even realize. The account does not belong to Peter Obi's children. So let's get it clear now. The account belongs to Peter Obi himself. And he used this company called PMGG to open the account. So the account does not belong to Peter Obi's children. The account belongs to Peter Obi himself, using a shell company called PMGG Investment Limited. So does Peter Obi want to tell me that does Peter Obi wants to tell me that he's not aware that it is an offense for a governor to have an account outside Nigeria?
But you know that at that time that you are talking about, that Peter Obi had a company. He had a company outside the shores of this country, even before he became governor.
Fine. I'm not arguing with. Do you know? Let's go back to Code of Conduct Bureau. Now, once you become a governor, let me tell you. Let me use myself as an example. I have 3 companies in US. Okay.
Okay.
Should I become governor of Ekiti State now? There's nothing wrong with me having companies in US. But number 1, I must declare my assets. I must let Ekiti people know that I have 3 companies in the US before I became governor. Then I have to resign from those companies. Okay? For the matter that I resign from the board of directors of those companies does not mean that I'm still not the owner. Okay? But I have to resign my directorship from those 3 companies. Whatever, and if I have money in America, I have to declare. Assuming that I have $2 million, just for example, I'm using myself as an example. I have $2 million in account before I became governor of Ekiti State. Then I became governor of Ekiti State. Everybody knows that I live in America. Okay? As a genuine and law-abiding citizen, I will tell them that in Ekiti Luko, I have interest in company A, company B, company C, based in Maryland in America. But because I'm not the governor of Ekiti State, I will resign my position as a director of those companies. Declare all the money I have in that company. Even declare all my assets in America. Okay? Then after finishing my tenure as governor of Ekiti State, I will go back again to Ekiti people and say, look, these are my assets before I became governor. These are my assets after I became the governor of Ekiti State. There's something we call conflict of interest. Okay? Now, yes. And then by virtue of Section 6 of Code of Conduct Bureau, as a public servant, the only business you can have is farming. Let me tell you now, the only business you can have is farming. Farming. You know what's called farming? So, for even Peter Obi to have even incorporated a company when he was governor of Anambra State is even unlawful. Let's get it clear. He incorporated that company when he was still a serving governor of Anambra State. And the name of the company is called PMGG Investment Limited. Not before. I know Peter Obi's company. Peter Obi's company in London is called Next Limited. So don't think I don't know what I'm saying. Okay? The company that is associated with Peter Obi is called Next Limited in London. We are talking of Panama. We are not even I don't have any problem with his company in London. What I'm saying is his company in Panama, not in London. Everybody knows that Peter Obi lives in London before he became governor. That's a fact. So I want to see your response. Hello.
I'm with you, sir.
I want to ask, I want to see your. I will respond now.
Okay.
Well, you see, he stopped the call. You see, you can fool some people for some time. You can't fool people all the time. You can fool people for some time. You can't fool people all the time. Nigerian politicians are the same. Whether Peter Obi, whether Atiku, whether Nigerian politicians are the same. Whether Peter Obi, whether Atiku, whether Tinubu, they are the same. Okay? And that is why I said Nigerian youth go and form a new political party. I said it, and I will continue to say Nigerian youth go and form a brand new political party. Stop following all these old politicians. They are not politicians, they are dealers. They are selfish, they are wicked. So Nigerian youth go and form a brand new political parties. That's my answer to this. Nigerian youth, that is my advice to you. Go and form a brand new political party. If you can organize SARS without Peter Obi, if you can organize SARS and SARS riots or SARS protests without Tinubu, if you can organize SARS protests without Atiku, go and form a brand new political party. Because of the time, this is where I'm going to stop this program. My name is olalekan. Now, to round up, Nigerian youth, wake up. Don't let anybody play on your intelligence. Don't. This is where I'm going to round up. My name is olalekan. Ezenwata Ojuku, I won't answer you again. You are not even Peter Obi's spokesperson. Let Peter Obi's spokesperson come and respond to me. Ezenwata Ojuku, whatever you are writing now, I won't answer you. Let Peter Obi's spokesperson. Peter Obi as a public relations manager. Let Peter Obi's public relations managers come and answer me. I won't respond to you, Ezenwata Ojuku. No, because you are biased. You are biased, and I have my reason for saying so. I have accused Peter Obi of having an account in Panama, and I'm not hiding my face. The question is, the issue is, why is it that when Peter Obi was the governor of Anambra State, suddenly his children were able to save $7 million in Panama? The second issue is, what was Peter Obi's children's source of income? The third issue was, are they aware that they violated the code of conduct by rule? So any other thing does not concern me. And then, I won't recognize you. Tell Peter Obi himself to come and defend himself, or to send a spokesperson, official spokesperson. Any other thing, I don't have time for it. Once more, my name is olalekan. Happy Friday. Cheers. God bless. Bye.